out inside Little John Coliseum. If you're a Clemson fan, a 3.5 lead over Pittsburgh with one rotation still to come. Alex and Sam back with you. And Sam, it was 7/10. Now that's been cut in half because Pitt just put up a 49-1 on floor. That was impressive.
They looked incredible across the board. They had some landing errors last weekend, but the confidence and consistency, especially on those landings and combination passes, really stood out to me. But what I'm also impressed with on the other side of things is Clemson. They had a fall early in the rotation, and so to have that pressure and to fight through all the way to the end of the lineup and put up some big numbers, that takes an extreme amount of focus from their end.
Well, this might be the first ACC meet for both of these teams here today, but it wasn't the first in conference history. That was Friday night when the other two teams did battle, NC State and North Carolina. This is going to be a really fun league to watch all season long.
Well, it's a conference that's been pushing each other. They've been getting better and better each year. That iron sharpens iron mentality. Of course, NC State is rocking those sticks here on the vaults and finishing on floor. Beautiful controlled landing upright on that last pass.
NC State gets the win. Chloe Negretti could very well be the ACC Gymnast of the Year when it's all said and done. But the story of the week, Ball State annihilating, obliterating, you could say, their program record with a 198.025.
It's wild. They broke so many records in this competition. Unbelievable. 3 perfect 10s as well. Love to see those 10s across the board.
Arkansas on the road in Tuscaloosa, setting a new program high under Jordan Weaver, 197.525. And then LSU with the best score of the season with a 198.125 in Baton Rouge. One more rotation still to come. Pitt to beam. Clemson finishes on floor next. Second, and then a bit of a slip up on beam. Took advantage. Pitt with that 49-1, and now 3.5 is the lead. It's been cut in half, Sam, and it's just really showing you what this league could be and how competitive it is already.
Well, it's been promising to watch Pitt, just hearing the interview from Casey Jo McPherson on what she's been bringing to this program in terms of focus and discipline and just putting your head down to work. And on the other side of things, Clemson is also doing the same thing and trying to break records and create a legendary season.
All right, this is really going to be interesting now for Pittsburgh because they have yet to break a 48 this season on beam. It has really been the Achilles heel for Casey Jo McPherson, which, interestingly enough, that's really her specialty. She was one of the premier beam coaches in the country when she was coaching at Missouri. They were 11th in the nation last season with the likes of Sienna Shriver and Elisa Sharonetta. But, Sam, now they've got a real opportunity to win this meet, and let's see if they can keep getting better week in and week out.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Alex. This has been a really big focus event for them the last couple weeks. She said the first meet was just a fluke error, and she said, I think it got people more nervous than what we saw in their training. But this week, they did a lot of team assignments to hit consistently one after another, and she thinks it really helped to reframe how they're thinking about routines and hoping for that positive change to show up right here in this competition.
Here's Kennedy Duke, who had a 9.725 last week, bounced back from a fall in the season opener. Former Canadian national all-around champion from British Columbia.
Opens back handspring layout. You see her arms bend a little bit on that back handspring. Sometimes that can actually make you crooked going into your layout. Good fight on that side aerial. a common theme that they were working on in the gym is belief and confidence in this lineup overall. And I can tell she's a little hesitant throughout this beam routine with that broken connection there, wanting to finish strong here, round off 1.5, and it was a good finish.
Casey Joe happy about that lead off from Kennedy Duke. And now for Clemson, to one of their strengths, 49.275 last week in their inaugural meet on floor. Tied for the 20th ranked team in the country with Kentucky, that is, and Towson. Didn't count a score below 9.825 last Friday.
Loving the quirky choreography from Lily. Again, just a freshman, so for her to show that performance quality means she has a bright future here at Clemson.
Yeah, it's such a unique routine, so no surprise that Amy Smith calls her our little unicorn. Absolutely brilliant. She's a mechanical engineer with a 4.0 GPA. Also so creative that she sews all her own Clemson football game day outfits. And if there was any doubt about how all in she is on the Tigers, she has a betta fish back home in her apartment called Dabo Swimmy.
Way to start out for Clemson on floor. High fives all around. Definitely deserved for Lily Lippett. Opens double back. Great air awareness there. Chest up in the landing. That's something the judges look for. And working out of that combination pass. Excellent job.
I think you can see why Clemson should be very dangerous in this league and already has sights on an ACC championship in only their first year of existence. Emily Todd is following up Kennedy Duke's 9.55 in the leadoff spot for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Beam was not her favorite, historically speaking, but head coach Casey Jo McPherson said that before she goes on this event, all they talk about is how she likes Beam now, and that's really the first step in being good at balance beam, is just to like the event, or maybe just not hate the event is good step one. Nice back handspring layout. Had an error last week, but this week in training she's been so solid, so they're expecting a great finish here. And what an improvement from Emily. She's been really intentional, and I love this unique mount right there. Very difficult to get things going. Strong back handspring layout, no problems there.
Lily Lippett with a 9.875 in the leadoff for Clemson as they look to close out Pitt and earn their first ACC win in their first try.
And this is an upgrade for her. Full in, first pass. Nice job. Does not look like a new pass from her. She does that very well.
Executed it perfectly last week as well with a 9.875 last week, just off of her career high, which is a 9.9.
open her floor routine with. So it's really impressive to me that she was able to upgrade in this floor routine and build that endurance to move her most difficult pass to the end of her routine. It just really shows across the board how hungry this Clemson team is to put in that work, that strength and conditioning to make these routines show up here.
This is the apparatus that Casey Jo McPherson knows the best, and that she really wants to improve too. I mean, you increase those, Sam, and you've got yourself a pretty good team score.
Yeah, they're looking good so far. Knock on wood, of course.
Always with Beam. 9.55 and 9.7 so far with Carla Fersoko.
Opens back handspring layout. She scored an 8.8 last weekend, so this is really a routine that she's hoping to improve. And I'm seeing her be more aggressive, which usually leads to a better outcome on beam.
It's like to do a beam routine to a remix of Taylor Swift.
I'm here for it.
Pretty high energy beam routine here.
Finishing back handspring, gear layout full off the side, and she was so excited she almost forgot to salute right there. I mean, they're on a roll. You see where there's still improvements to be made, but those little strides in the work they did in the gym this week is showing up.
Coming up February 2nd, our next gymnastics meet on ACC Network when these very same Clemson Tigers host NC State. Trinity Brown making her Clemson floor debut. And Coach Amy Smith calls it an absolute showstopper.
Okay, stuck landing.
A couple of 9.875s at the moment for Clemson.
For a new team, you would imagine that they might not have the depth to be interchangeable, but that's actually the opposite of what head coach Amy Smith told us, and that's why you're seeing so many new faces perform just as well here in this floor lineup.
Brown in for Maggie Holman this week. Fersoko's score at the bottom right of your screen pops up at 9.6 for Pitt on beam.
She's got performance quality. She's got swagger. This is going to be a huge number for Clemson. Front tuck to a double back. You know what this is saying to Amy is, I don't want to get taken out of this lineup. I want to be a staple in this floor lineup. You can trust me, and I think a job well done for Trinity.
Well, she saw her in 2022 coming over from Utah State, competed vault and floor for the Aggies every meet in her freshman season. And can Pitt continue the momentum? Right now they dropped the opening 9.55 from Duke. Jordan Ewing, 9.825 last week, which shared the beam title against Kent State. That's the highest score for Pitt this year on this apparatus.
How quick twitch she is as an athlete. Usually for athletes that are powerful, more dynamic, they almost need to be more patient on these landings. She does an excellent job of that, really sinking into the beam when she finishes. Loving the height on that leap combination. Stretched extension there. This is looking so good.
It's going to be a big one.
Very impressive. And again, I'm saying this, you can tell the work they've put in on this event in the gym. Head coach Casey Joe McPherson has got to be proud.
In your first year, you're looking for improvement. They go from 47-1 to 47-7, and so far, they're going to have a better number than that when it's all over here in Clemson, South Carolina. Now the NC State transfer, Lauren Rutherford. 9-8-5 last week against William and Mary, which was part of a run of 3 straight scores of 9-8-5 or better. Browns in it at 9-8. That would be the one that can be dropped at this moment with 3 to go. Has embraced this team. I mean, this is only the second meet in program history, and it's looking like any SEC environment that we've seen.
The crowd is erupting. Alex, to your point, what a show these Clemson athletes are putting on for everyone in the audience. And for the fans in the stands that don't know much about gymnastics, I'm willing to bet they're going to be back for every single home meet. And that's exactly what this team is hoping to start here at Clemson. Opens 2.5. Punch front, nice combination work, no problems on the landing, and finishing with a clean double back.
There are 3 more meets at home for Clemson this season. That's going to be a tough ticket, and it's going to be even more difficult after what we've seen today, there's no doubt. All right, Jordan Ewing's score was a 9.75. Right now the highest of the rotation. Julie Matzo, the Norwegian champion in 2020 and 2022, following that up.
She exhibitioned last week and looked comfortable, but feedback for her coming into this meet is to be more aggressive. They want her to attack balance beam.
What does that mean, Sam, to attack it?
Be really aggressive on all of your skills. Sometimes if you're nervous, you have a tendency to be hesitant, and you really want to take the opposite approach on this event. Really, all 4 events. But it's extra important on balance beam. Oh! You know, there's always a saying in gymnastics that where you look is where you go. And right when she landed, I saw her gaze down at the floor, and that's unfortunately exactly where she went.
5/10 deduction for that fall there. Hoping to drop the score from Julie.
All right, look at her eyes at the end of this. She looks down right there and then ends up going there. It really did not look crooked to me. That was a nervous mistake because she could have planted her feet down and taken a breath, but unfortunately reacted.
Just a freshman. So for Julie, I'm sure many better routines to come. Now the redshirt senior Rebecca Wells. Let's see how her first pass goes, because she put her hands down on that here. First time out, it's a 5-10 deduction right off the bat. Rutherford score, by the way, a 9-9 that came in. So that 9-8 from Trinity Brown is still the one to be dropped. This is turning into a massive floor rotation for Clemson to close. Already have a 3.5 tenths advantage.
Crowd pleaser floor routine. High energy, good tumbling passes. Love seeing the difficulty. She was able to fix that fall that she had last weekend. Here's the tuck full in. I'd like to see her take a step backward. She took a step forward, which will be a deduction. But improvement from last weekend, and ends with this combination pass.
Well-deserved high fives for the Utah State all-around record holder. She's going to be a big part of what the Tigers do in year number 1. Now, Hallie Copperwheat, 9.25 last week. She's anchored both meets so far this year. She's capable of a 9.95, though. That was her career high just a year ago.
She just looks so comfortable and confident up there. Smooth rhythm from start to finish. That's a good indicator of if someone is confident on this event. Aggressive back handspring layout. And if she hits this beam routine, it's going to be a really good improvement for Pitt on this event.
Trying to drop that 9.05 from Matt, so one routine to go.
Yeah, and she just had that look in her eye when she saluted that kind of said to everybody, especially the judges, I'm going to hit this balance beam routine. Big hop right there, but that was the biggest deduction that I saw. Hung on to it, no falls, and of course a good improvement for Pitt on this event that we're going to see. Look how aggressive she is on that back handspring layout. Solid finish.
You talk about highlights, you're about to see one from Bree Clark. 9.9 in her Clemson floor debut last week. This is the Mountain Rim Conference Floor Specialist of the Year, the reigning MRGC Freshman of the Year. And this first pass should be quite a treat for you.
Huge double layout. First pass, she is capable of doing the miles, which is important because very few people in the world can do that.
Yeah, not just NCAA gymnastics, Sam, the world. She was just one of 4 freshmen in the entire country in 2022 to be named an All-American on floor.
see her grow in this routine. Beautiful job. Opens, double layout, little knee bend, slight knee bend. I'm being picky because it was a really good routine, but that's really most of what I saw in this routine. I love that combination work at the end of a routine.
And so we'll wait on the final score. It came in for Beam for Pitt, and we wait on Clark's to wrap up a fantastic afternoon of ACC gymnastics.
What's my